Well, good Saturday afternoon, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Man, this has been a rough week, man. This has been a really and truly rough week with everything that's been going on with the Dallas Cowboys. And to finally top it off last night, coming out with Ceedee Lamb's mother coming out, basically throwing Dak Prescott under the bus and basically saying they need to move on from his ass. And yeah, I mean, it was ugly. Let's be clear, this is ugly. And in my mind, this morning I was doing my video. It's like it struck a nerve, but I couldn't. It reminded me. It was like a deja vu moment. And let me say with clarity here. Let me be clear here. I mean no disrespect. Now, usually when somebody says I mean no disrespect, they end up disrespecting you. But I honestly don't mean any disrespect. I am just putting out there one of the things that I've seen, and I hope that this isn't going to be that type of a situation. CeeDee Lamb is an incredible talent, and I want you to understand, to get to the NFL level, even to be a practice squad player, if you played high school football, I want you to think back, how many people on your high school team made it to Division I football? Just from your high school team. How many guys went on to play college football? If you played college football, how many players did you play with that ended up making it in the NFL? I went to JMU. We had Gary Clark, and we had Charles Haley, and we had the kicker that missed the kick for Buffalo against the Giants. And that was it. That was the only ones that I knew. Although there was Eric Dorsey, who threw for McLean High School, who made it with the Giants. That was, from high school, but he wasn't on my team. He was on division, rivals team. Yeah. And then there was Eric Metcalf, who was an incredible sprinter. But again, he didn't go to my high school. That was another one. But my point being is, getting to the NFL is hard for anybody. And since the average life expectancy in an NFL career is like 3 years, staying there is even harder. So getting a second contract is extremely hard. And so what CeeDee Lamb and every one of those guys that are on the team that, we call bums and everything else, you are literally the cream of the crop. You're not just the top 1%. You're the top 1% of the 1%. Of all the billions of people in the world, how many starting NFL quarterbacks are there? So, there you have that. So I don't mean any disrespect. When I saw the tweets, the Facebook posts and things where CeeDee's mother was going after Dak Prescott, he doesn't want to win, he's sorry, get his ass out of there. It reminded me a little bit of LaVar Ball. And like I said it just reminded me. I'm not saying that she is that. But I think about how LaVar, who had his kids' interest at heart, where he was trying to shake up the system, and things, and basically saying, why should we get contracts to, for them to use my kids' likeness and jerseys and stuff, and, when we can come up with our own brand. And the way he pushed his kids and things, you can kind of see that maybe it was a detriment to them, because you put them on Front Street now, you put them on notice to be maybe better than they were, or make them seem that they were better than what they were ready for. Let me remind you, because this was like 3-4 years ago, that, this big baller brand was so bad that they were literally falling apart. at halftime. And I'm not saying that CeeDee Lamb's mother is going to be that. I'm just saying that sometimes the parents who are grateful, we're grateful for them having the kids, sometimes will undermine what they do when they think that they're actually helping. And you have to understand that CD is a grown-ass man. And now you're putting him kind of on blast street because as much as you say Dak sucks and doesn't care about winning, I don't know if he went with the New York Jets, if he's getting the yards and the record and the contract that he's about to get with the Cowboys. And now you put in question of, is this a bad situation for us to look at CD long-term for that contract? It's just not a bad look. It's a bad look completely for everybody. But let me just refresh you. I wanted LaVar Ball to be a hero. Former practice squad member of the New York Jets and Carolina Panthers, and was poised to disrupt several industries in professional and amateur basketball as the patriarch of the family basketball dynasty. His son, Lonzo, is about to start his third year in the NBA, while his other two sons may join their brother in the future. Daddy Ball was gutsy. He used to be the big baller brand to allow the Ball family to wear their own clothing brand and shoes. In fact, a pair of big baller brand shoes was priced at $495, a ballsy business move that even Jay-Z supported by purchasing not one but three pairs. And no matter what the critics said about Ball, they could never claim he didn't want his sons to succeed. I've even argued that Ball wanted them to exceed his fame and accolades, as any parent wants to or his kids do. But now that's up for debate. Ball's Facebook reality show, Ball and the Family, captured a confrontation between Ball and his son Lorenzo, who plays for the New York Orleans Pelicans. The issue was his dissatisfaction with the baller brand shoes. He said he had every right to be disgruntled. The shoes were falling apart during games. Gregory Allen, a company manager and second father to Lonzo, has been accused of stealing money in family-owned business that was racking up F ratings of Better Business Bureau. Now, I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that CeeDee's mom is Lorenzo Ball. What I'm trying to say is sometimes we as parents are trying to help a situation and we end up making it worse for them. You just do. And unfortunately, that post does no good for CD, for Dak, for her, or the Dallas Cowboys. The only thing that does good for is the trolls. It feeds more and more people that are going to go through and question CD and Dak, the team, the organization. It's just not a good look. It's just bad all the way around. And I don't know how this ends or how this gets rectified. You can't find his mom on Facebook any longer. CD hasn't chimed in or anybody else hasn't chimed in. But at some point, you got to say, what are you doing? CD is grown. He's grown. He's had the most incredible wide receiver season, statistically, of any Dallas Cowboy player. He's about to get a huge contract that could make him one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid wide receiver in the history of football. Just saying. It's just bad. And I hope that somehow, some way, this doesn't turn into something worse than it already is. To have everybody talking about this just creates more hate and animosity towards everybody else. And in fact, I'm going to say that this is one of those things that people will look at and say, oh, your mama had to stand up for you, right? Come on, man. Come on. Hopefully this just blows over real quick. And We'll be live streaming starting at 4:30 for the games. I hope you guys join us, and we'll definitely be talking more about this. The mailman is out in the snow delivering the packages, and maybe we'll get him in later on to get his take on things that are happening with the Cowboys. Peace out.